Hey guys, Thornton here, back with another video, and today we're going to be comparing Razer and Logitech's flagship wireless gaming headsets, those being the Blackshark V2 Pro and the Pro X wireless. So stick around to hear about those similarities as well as those key differences so you guys can make the best decision on what's going to work for you. There is only a $20 difference between the two, with the Pro X wireless being the more expensive, sitting at $200, and then the Blackshark V2 Pro sitting just a little bit less at $180. So not a huge difference there, but I wouldn't let that sway you one way or the other just based on price until we dive more into the features and sound on these guys. As far as box contents goes with both of these, pretty similar items. You're gonna get your expected charging cable, which is micro USB on the Blackshark, but USB-C on the Pro X. Then you're gonna get your included microphone, your dongle for wireless pairing, and then one big thing that you're lacking on the Blackshark V2 Pro, which is really nice to see included with the Pro X wireless, is an extra set of replacement ear cups, so you can either go between just having the cloth ones or the pleather ones that come stock. Starting off with comfort, both these headsets definitely deliver really well in that department. I would say being definitely probably the top two headsets I've had out of the box experience as far as just slapping on my head and giving really great comfort as soon as you open it up. As far as weight goes, pretty stinking light for a wireless gaming headset, with the Blackshark V2 Pros coming in at just 320 grams, and then the Pro X is weighing 350. So both of them lightweight, feels really nice on the head. Where we see a bigger discrepancy between them though is the Blacksharks do have a much looser or less, on the very low end of clamping force, I would say. If you were to bend over with these or shake your head, you can definitely get them to pop off. Whereas with the Pro X wireless, it's more around that medium clamping force, not too heavy where it's like giving you a headache, but also not too loose where you can shake it off like with the Blackshark. So I think this one feels nicer as far as just having to worry about falling off, but this one's obviously just gonna give you even less clamping force, making it feel like it's just floating on your head. For padding on both of these in the headbands and on the ear cups, they're gonna be using that memory foam, and I have to say with both of them, again, super cozy, conforms nicely to your head, and over even hours extended use on them, I had no issues feeling discomfort with them. And this is where we might run into an issue here with some of you guys, depending on what you want. With the Blackshark V2 Pros, I thought you couldn't even remove the ear cups at first, but after doing some further research, not only do they not include replacement ones in the box, to remove them you have to get behind them, pop them out, and they're stretched around a plastic ring. So basically it's just gonna be a big hassle. Then you're gonna also have to buy aftermarket ear cups, so kind of annoying, and it's not gonna be easy just to pop them on or off or replace them to get a nicer fresh set if they're soiled 6 months down the road. Whereas with the Pro X wireless, not only do they include some in the box, which are pleather or cloth, so you can switch back and forth depending on what you like. They're also super easy to move. You can pop these off in a matter of minutes and have them switch out with the other ones. So definitely gonna be maybe a line in the sand there if you want to be able to replace them easily. The Pro X wireless definitely gives that to you, versus the Blackshark V2 Pro. You don't get any in the box and they're difficult to replace. The design and build quality of these guys is quite different, with the Blackshark V2 Pro having what I would consider more unique design with these metal wires running down and connecting to the sides, with the Pro X then having the more what I would just consider to be a traditional headset look, with the metal headband which forks out to each ear cup. And though the Blackshark V2 Pro, it looks really chintzy when you look at just these little metal wires running down to the ear cups, I have to say it is really solid. I've been using it almost daily for two and a half months now. No issues with the build quality on it. The one issue I do have with the wires is when you have it sitting on your head, after a couple hours or even just a while of playing, if you're moving your head around, eventually these wires it kind of just wants to sink down a little bit on your head, and I kind of find myself just kind of pinching it back up to get it tighter on my head. So that is a little bit annoying. It's not a deal-breaking issue for me. It's it's as simple as going like this. So it's not that big of an issue. It's just something that I want to point out to you guys because it can be a bit annoying. The Pro X, on the other hand, definitely the more solid as far as build quality goes between the two. I have absolutely no worries bending and twisting this headset up. It's just really well built, all put together, which I would definitely not feel comfortable doing at the Razer Blackshark V2 Pro, and that's why you won't see me a clip of me twisting it up, because I don't want to break it, because I did spend my money on this, and I definitely am more worried about twisting this one up. So build quality wise, I have to hand it to the Pro X. Adjustments and controls on these guys is going to be very similar, and they're both going to be found on that left ear cup. You're going to get the familiar power button, your mic mute or unmute button, charging port, and then also the mic jack. And then where we see a bigger difference is instead of getting your more traditional volume roller on the back of the ear cup like it is on the Pro X, on the Blackshark you have that volume knob kind of sticking off the side of that left ear cup, which might look kind of dumb or dorky to some of you. I don't mind the way it looks, but beyond that, of course, I appreciate the absolute convenience of it. If you're in game or you're watching something, super easy to find. Gives you a nice tactile bump in the middle to let you know where your volume roller is at. So I just appreciate the absolute convenience of that, but of course the design choice might not be for everyone. And one of the biggest things the Pro X is is lacking as far as like adjustments or ports goes is it doesn't have a 3.5mm jack, which we see on the Blackshark V2 Pro. And this might not be a big issue for a lot of you guys if you're on PC. Obviously not gonna matter. If you're someone like me who plays on Xbox too, most PC headsets don't work on Xbox, so with the Razer Blackshark V2 Pro, I can just take a 3.5 to 3.5 cable, plug it right into my controller, and I'm good to go, which I'm not able to with the Pro X. So if you are someone in that situation who likes to, take your headset around, use it on different devices, maybe in conjunction with that 3.5mm jack, only the Blackshark's gonna be able to do that for you. For connectivity, these are both gonna be used with the included dongle in either box, and they're gonna be using that 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection, which does have a different name depending on which one you go with, but at the end of the day, it's basically the same thing. And it's so refined at this point, like the audio is lossless. I can walk around my entire apartment like up to 40 feet away and I can still hear it just fine. So you're definitely not gonna have any issues just sitting in front of your computer or whatever you're gonna be listening to audio on. It's very flawless, and the connection so far for me on both headsets, I've never had any issues with it pairing or having any issues like actually getting the audio through to my headset itself. As far as battery life goes, it's actually advertised as the same on each of these, sitting at 20 hours. And I do think that's pretty accurate. I can usually go around 3 to 4 days without ever having to charge it. And as usual, like I always say in my wireless reviews, just plug it in when you're not using it, then you don't have to worry about it. Now moving on to sound with both these guys, and it's kind of difficult to compare because they do both sound pretty solid out of the box, but of course it's when you hop into that software, getting the full potential out of these, pretty much anyone's be able to customize it when getting into the software, tuning the drivers how they like. You're gonna pretty much be able to get the sound you'd want out of it no matter who you are. And where we see the biggest difference with them, they are both using 50mm drivers, but instead of that, pretty standard 20 to 20K frequency range, which is what the Pro X is using, on the Blackshark V2 Pro, they are using a 12 up to 28. So 12 being your bass or your low end, and then that 28,000 being your high or your trebles on the Blackshark. So we get a lot of extra frequency range here, and I can definitely say with those titanium Triforce drivers as well on this, which really help you tune them, separating that bass, mids, and highs, I feel like I get a lot better soundstage out of the Blackshark V2 Pro. Just get that really nice crispy bass, or punchy bass I should say, and crispy highs. The mix just sounds so great on this, and I'm not trying to say the Pro X doesn't sound good by any means, because it does sound great. Just in comparison to the Blackshark V2 Pro, I definitely think it takes the cake as far as the overall soundstage goes. I will quickly mention that each headset does have its own surround sound, and with the Pro X wireless, I feel like it's the pretty standard surround sound we think of with gaming headsets. It's just not good. It's echoey, it's all over the place. It does not sound good, but that's actually a completely different story with the Blackshark V2 Pro, and I'm happy to say that. I think what they did with the THX spatial audio on these is absolutely phenomenal. I actually find myself with it on more than it's off in game. I just think it's great. There's different profiles you can set. You can, have it for different games. I think it sounds good. Might depend on what you're playing, but I think overall for a surround sound implementation in a gaming headset, the Blackshark V2 Pro does an absolute fantastic job. We're gonna go ahead and hop over into the software now and also do a mic test while going over the customization that's available in it. Alrighty guys, all the audio you're gonna be hearing right now is coming from the Pro X wireless Logitech headset, and we're gonna hop right into the software here and show off some of the things it's capable of. The microphone on this is where you're going to see a pretty decent difference between the software that Logitech's going to offer you versus Razer. As soon as we enable Blue Voice, you'll hear the audio change immediately on the microphone. My gain will get louder on it, and last time I was doing this mic test, I did have my gain a little bit too loud, as when you turn the Blue Voice on, it just starts peaking higher. So it definitely does make a difference, and these controls in here, I have not personally went through every single one and tried to dial things in completely precisely, but it gives you so many options. And if you didn't watch that other review specifically, you are able to record your mic right here. Go ahead, say something into it like testing 1 2 3, anything you want to, and then it will loop that back and over again to you. And while you're listening to that playback, you can go ahead, go through these settings, adjust them as you'd like, so you can have your voice sounding just how you want out of that microphone itself. And if you don't want to hop into all these controls itself and do it yourself, they do offer some presets too you can choose, and then you can also browse through just an absolute plethora of more beyond what's just right here on this page. So as far as mic customization goes, it doesn't not get much better than this, and I also think the sound of it for a gaming headset microphone is super on point.
Moving over to the headphones themselves though, you get your normal curves you can adjust here. You will have to click enable advanced EQ to get to this point, but once you are, you can set your bass, your mids, and your highs, really dial it into whatever you want. And again, just like with that microphone, you are able to go between different presets down here. If you just want to try something out that's maybe going to work for a game, or maybe you're just watching something in general. Again, surround sound is on here. I would not recommend using this. I personally think it sounds horrible, but if you want to hop in here, try to mess around with it, see if you maybe like it, you can go through each zone individually on the surround sound, adjust volume on them. So yes, it is there and it's present. It's something that you can try out if you have the headset. Otherwise, I will say definitely don't buy it if you're looking for a surround sound headset. So that wraps up the software here, and then we'll hop over onto the Razer one now. All right, guys, we are now over on the Blackshark V2 Pro, and all the audio you're going to be hearing is going to be coming through that microphone. And we're going to go and hop into the beginning of the software here, and we're going to go right over to the mixer, and this is where you're going to find your THX spatial audio. Right now I have mine set on auto, but you can put it on manual, dial things in just how you would like, or you can even have already preset modes for different games, and you can turn those on and adjust them how you would like. The THX spatial audio, again, is a different breed of surround sound. It's just by far the best I've tried out on a gaming headset, and if you are going to be picking up the Blackshark V2 Pros, it's something that you definitely should take advantage of and try to dial it in to your liking, because I definitely think it's usable and something that can be really enjoyable if you do get your settings dialed in right. Moving over to enhancement, though, this is where you're going to find your more traditional things where you can adjust things like curves or have presets for the way you like to listen to stuff. I usually set my custom curve just about like this, with my basses up and then my highs up as well. I like those to come through a little bit more in the mix, with my mids just hanging around where they should in that middle. But you can also turn things on like your bass boost, voice clarity, and sound optimization if you want to take advantage of those. Finally, though, here we have the microphone, and though you're not going to get as many like adjustability options as you do with Logitech Pro X, you still do get a decent amount for just a gaming headset microphone. You can set your own curve here, which for me right now and what you're hearing is just completely default, and then you can also switch between presets if you want to try those out. I'm not going to do them right now so you don't hear my voice changing a bunch, but definitely mess around with those if you want to. As usual, I don't use a gaming mic. Most of the time I'm going to actually use a condenser mic because it just sounds a lot better. But here you can adjust your overall volume, set your voice gate. You can do a preview back to any settings you've changed if you want to listen to what it sounds like playing it back into your own headset. Then you also get some different enhancements here to mess around with. So a lot of good adjustability here and things to mess around with. The only thing I would say the biggest difference between the softwares is just in Logitech. So you might get a little more options when it comes to customizing your microphone, but besides that, they're basically giving you the same thing.
Wrapping up the video now and just kind of giving my recommendations on what I think would be best. I honestly just don't think you'd be disappointed no matter which one you go with, although I do think they definitely shine in different aspects. With the Pro X Wireless, I think you definitely get superior build quality, as was stated earlier, and then also just the functionality of easily being able to switch out those ear cups is a great big bonus for me. With the Blackshark V2 Pro though, I think you're getting a way better soundstage overall. You get the extra frequency range, you get those Triforce drivers, and when you tune those in the software, I just feel like you get a better sound overall. Again, it's not like the Pro X is bad, I just think the Blackshark has a beat as far as that goes. And then you also get the 3.5mm jack on the Blackshark, which for me personally, I find it super useful. So if you're someone who likes to hop between devices or take advantage of that 3.5mm jack, then you definitely might want to go for the Blacksharks. A lot of this is going to come down to personal preference here and what you value most in your headset option, but hopefully this video did help you narrow down your choices as we went over the differences between them and also the similarities. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any more questions about them, definitely let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try my best to get back to you and answer it in the best way I can. If you want to support me and the channel, please do hit that like button for me, and do consider subscribing for more content just like this coming up in the very near future, but I'll see you guys in the next video.